Everyone, welcome back. We are continuing the reading of The Science of Getting Rich. We are on chapter 14, The Impression of Increase. This is part 3 of chapter 14, and we're going to finish up this chapter today. If you missed any of the previous readings, we have a playlist here on YouTube. We have a couple playlists, one from back in like 2021 of The Science of Getting Rich, me reading this and sharing my notes and stories, just an interactive reading, if you will. And then this is the second go round, the 2025 version. So you can find all the playlists to this and many other books in the playlist. But let's dive in. I love this is one of my favorite chapters. They all are. But the impression of increase. Do you leave others with an impression of increase, or do you leave others with an impression of decrease, depleted? Think about we use the words leaving a good impression. We want to leave a good impression. We want to impress people, and it's take it to a further meaning than just you want to impress them falsely by flashy things or being someone you're not, but truly impress upon them the energy of who you are. And if you are an honest, good-hearted person and you have faith in yourself, you will impress everybody with increase. But most people, the impression we get are people who there's just something not right. Maybe they're being a little fake. Maybe they're not fully confident in themselves. Their behaviors, the way they speak, the way they talk about other people, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. It's not a good impression because they're impressing upon you their subconscious mind. We all are, by the way. We are walking subconscious energetic minds, and we are continuously impressing upon others what is going on in our subconscious mind, not consciously. We can talk all we want and tell people and show them our degrees and all of this. That's obvious. But we impress people with our energy. We feel other people's energy. That's why we have to tap into our intuition, the sixth sense, as Napoleon Hill calls it. Are we attuned to other people's energy? What are we allowing ourselves to be impressed with? We are a part of this world, unless you run away to the Himalayas, but if that was the case, you wouldn't be hearing me right now, right? We live in the world. We are being impressed upon 24/7, first by ourselves, by our own conscious mind, impressing upon our subconscious mind. Conscious mind, whatever we impress, we express. Whatever we impress upon ourselves from ourselves, we express. And whatever we impress, allowing into our subconscious mind, anything from the outside world, we're going to express. And most of the time, we are impressing ourselves with things we don't want. So we kept expressing in behaviors. Our beliefs are in our subconscious mind. We're not consciously aware. Yes, logically, consciously, we know what we believe, and it usually matches what our subconscious mind believes. But most of the time, our behaviors do not match how we think, because our behaviors are our subconscious mind turned outside of us. Our subconscious mind, our behaviors are reflected from our beliefs. Our beliefs cause our behaviors. Our behaviors tell on us all the time. Our behaviors will sell us out. We cannot hide that. And most people try to hide it behind closed doors, doing things that, in the dark or behind locked doors that people don't see. You're impressing yourself with that. It doesn't matter if anybody else doesn't know, especially if it's something that doesn't make you feel good. So just think of the subconscious mind as the part that is impressed. And that is that feeling, emotional, energetic, intuitive part. What are we impressing ourselves with? Are we impressing ourselves with increase? Are we impressing others with increase? Or decrease and depletion? We left off, I'll read a little bit of what we read last time. Convey the impression of advancement with everything you do, so that all people shall receive the impression that you are an advancing person, and that you advance all who deal with you. Also, give people who you meet socially the thought of increase. You can convey this impression by holding the unshakable faith that you are in the way of increase, and by letting this faith inspire, fill, and permeate every action. Do everything that you can do in the firm conviction that you are an advancing personality and that you are giving advancement to everyone. I love that word, conviction. Convicted, to be convicted. He went on to say, don't boast or brag. We talked about that last call. Don't boast or brag of your success. The true faith is never boastful. Whenever you find a boastful person, you find someone who's secretly doubtful and afraid. I love that because that was me, totally. Such a prideful, scared, doubtful little brat, but boastful, I mean, not even outwardly boastful, but in my mind and like, puffing my chest out like, I know that. It's like, do you, Carla? Because your results would say different. So words are not necessary to communicate. It's a feeling. You have a sense of increase when you're around someone. You know when you're around someone with faith, with positivity, with a PMA, positive mental attitude, you know? If you always take an honest pride in doing this and let everybody know it, you will always have customers. Oh, because it left off on impress others. You must so impress upon others that they will feel that in associating with you, they will get increase for themselves. Like birds of a feather flock together. You want to be around people who ooze opulence and wealth and happiness and success because you're next. You are the 5 people you hang around with. So if you're around really successful people, you're next, or you already are. So leave everybody with an impression of increase so much so that they just feel rich around you. See that you give them a in-use value greater. See that you give them a use value greater than the cash value you are taking from them. If you always take an honest pride in doing this and let everybody know it, you will always have customers. People will go where they are given increase. And the supreme power, which desires increase, is everything and which knows everything, will move you toward men and women who have never heard of you. That's the truth. Think about people you love the most. You don't know why. There's just something about them. Everything they touch turns to gold. If they made a mug, if they made a perfume, you buy it. You don't care. You love them. It's like personal branding is what he's talking about. A good personal brand, having a good, integrous, you know, personality and being somebody who is in alignment. Their energy matches what they're saying. And we love those people. And unfortunately, they're rare because we don't learn this material. But when they're there, everybody flocks to them. It's like moth to a flame. That's why when people are so successful, it's like easy for them. There was, so David Meltzer, he is the chairman of the Napoleon Hill Institute, and he had a mastermind. And there was the gentleman, I believe, God, his name slips my mind. He's the founder of Wahoo's Tacos, fish tacos in Orange County, and now other places. Such a humble man, fun, easygoing, generous, loving, kind, genuine, unassuming, super successful. Just an angel of a soul. And he just keeps having success because he does things in a certain way. He thinks in a certain way. He acts in a certain way. He talks in a certain way. He thinks, all of it. He is probably a living example of this book. I don't know if he's ever read it. I should ask him. But it was just fantastic being around him. He left me with an impression of increase, just being around him. It was fantastic. All right. So if you always take an honest pride, people will just love to be around you. You'll attract people. Your business will increase rapidly, and you will be surprised at the unexpected benefits which will come to you. You will be able to make larger combinations to secure greater advantages and go on into a more congenial vocation if you desire to do so. Again, we started this chapter with him saying, do the best you can where you're at, even if it's not where you want to be long term. How can you show up fully with gratitude, doing your best, and still keeping your eye on the prize to, GTFO, but not poo-pooing, avoiding, having a bad attitude just so you can get out of there? How can you really fully show up and be the highest version of yourself at your job at McDonald's, or you know what I mean? Like how can you be like for me when I was bartending and waitressing, it's like I was turning those into therapy sessions. I was turning it into like praying for people and really being a light in their day. I know it sounds silly, but like I could have just given food and drinks, but if I tapped into how I can help people, I can read people, I can help people with direction, with clarity if they have an issue, if they have a problem, and people just open up to me. They always have. I'm a natural therapist, right? And it's in my own work that I was able to elevate a seemingly menial job into a high vocation and calling and eventually get out of there. You know what I mean? But when I had that stinky butt poo poo attitude, like, "Ugh, I'm above this. This is just a means to an end. It's a stepping stone. You suckers, all y'all gonna be here your whole life." Like, yeah, in my 20s, I thought that. I remember just a babe in the woods. I was 18, just graduated from high school, was a hostess. And I remember the older girls. Oh my God. So I was 18. They were like 26, 27. There was this woman who was even 35. I thought, wow, what is she doing here? I couldn't believe it. I thought, wow, that's not going to be me. Cut to it was. I mean, I think I left serving when I was 36. I was 18 years. I mean, I would say on and off, but always on in the sense of like if I ever had other jobs, I was always like working on the weekends or something for extra money because it's really good money. But it was a means to an end. But still, I was them. It's like I thought, I'll speak for myself, but I'm sure if you're honest with yourself, you might relate. We think we're different. I thought I was special. I thought I was the exception to the rule. I thought, no, not me. I have that feeling. I know I'm meant for more, which is all true for all of us. But no one's going to make it happen. It's not going to fall in my lap. I'm not going to be touched. Ding, the angel's going to come out and ordain the time. Yep, here you go, Carla. That feeling you had is right, and here you go. No, I have to do the work. And so I was in this place of entitlement of when am I going to get mine? I'm a good person. I tithe, I go to church, I'm a good girl. Hello. And it was this attitude of, yeah, entitlement, pride, victim. And it wasn't until I realized true humility, being humble, sobering up in my mind and my body, hello, that everything opened up for me. And I had that big old piece of a humble pie life. And I love that also David Meltzer says, you are either humble or you're about to be, period. But most people double down on their defensiveness because it takes a lot of vulnerability and honesty and discomfort to be vulnerable, and to be humble. But it gets easier, and it's such a beautiful way to live in surrender. Anyways, long tangent. So your business will increase rapidly, and you'll be able to move up, on and upwards when you have a positive mental attitude and you leave people with the impression of increase. However, in doing all this, you must never lose sight of your vision of what you want or of your faith and purpose. So as you are in the place you're in, that you don't see yourself there forever, you don't really want to be there, you might not even like it, it's not the best thing, but it's paying the bills, you got to do what you got to do before you can do what you want to do type thing. He says, do your best, show up, leave everyone with the impression of increase, but don't lose your sight on where you want to go, on where you see yourself ultimately. Don't lose faith. Don't lose your vision and your purpose. Let me here give you another word of caution in regard to motives. Beware of the insidious temptation to seek power over other people. Nothing is as pleasant to the unformed or partially developed mind as the exercise of power or domination over others. Ooh, that's a statement. Nothing is as pleasant to the unformed or partially developed mind as the exercise of power or domination over others. So, what he's saying is quite the burn. Nothing is more satisfactory and pleasant to somebody who is a dingbat and doesn't really do their inner work. So, what he's saying is people who are underdeveloped in their mind love to have power and control and dominate others because they need to control other people to feel better about themselves. But if they would just study themselves, they would know they don't need to control anybody. They assume power. They don't have to force it. So nothing is as pleasant to the unformed and partially developed mind as the exercise of power or domination over others. So whenever you see someone having power, dominating others, I've worked with people like this. It's like you just see another side of them, like they're trying to dominate their power. It's like, what the hell? You got the wrong number, baby. But a lot of people don't have that confidence to, like, they put up with it. They allow people to talk down to them or to make them feel small. And in the moment, of course, like I would never snap back or be ghetto. I quietly listen. And in my mind, in my mind, of course, my ego wants to say, I don't know who the fuck you think you're talking to, but it sure ain't me, honey. But I practice A Course in Miracles, so I'm thinking this person is going through something and it has nothing to do with me. So it brings absolute compassion, because could I judge this person and be like, what a jackass, what a B word? I would be right. But I wouldn't be at peace because I don't feel good judging people. They're having a bad day. What if life circumstances caused me to snap at someone? So it's not okay, but I had compassion. I have compassion in the past, and in the future, it will always be the same way. I remain calm because when someone is being unloving and unkind, it is a call for love. And most of the times, I ain't ready to give them some love. Oh, my alarm's going off. But bottom line, people who flash that power, wave their thing around, if you know what I mean, energetically, man or woman. I have done my inner work. Of course, the ego will come up and be like, oh, no, you didn't, and like want to get ghetto. But I just breathe through it. I realize this is something that they are struggling with. I have compassion, but also boundaries. And note taken. Note taken. This will be the first time that ever happens and the last time that ever happens. Let me tell you what. Perhaps I'll continue engaging with this person, or snippity snip, snip, snip with love, because, we're all human. We have our days, but when you see a certain pattern in certain people, and trust me, people see patterns in me and probably don't want to be around me either. I mean, why would they not, But look, we're the villain in everyone's life, in someone's life, not in everyone's life. We are always the villain to somebody, and people are always the villain to us. The truth is, we are all at different levels. And even though someone might do something that you don't understand, it doesn't make them a bad person. It doesn't make it right either if someone abuses you or is verbally abusive or is rude. That's on them. And have the boundaries. That's the problem. A lot of people don't like to assert boundaries. You talk about like boundaries all the time. It's one thing to talk about them, but it's another thing to really enforce them. So that was an interesting little tidbit on people who don't trust themselves and have like solid bunny. We talk about the bunnies, the hollow bunnies or the solid bunnies. Those Easter bunny, chocolate Easter bunnies that you get at Easter if you celebrate Easter. Either there's a solid milk chocolate bunny that you bite into the ear and it's solid bunny, or it's a hollow bunny. When you bite into the ear, it's like there ain't nothing inside. It's just a shell. So when someone's really confident, they don't assert power. Or I'm sorry, they don't want to have power and have dominion over others. The desire to rule for selfish gratification has been the curse of the world. For countless ages, kings and lords have drenched the earth with blood in their battles to extend their dominions. They have not been engaged in an effort to seek more life for all, but to get more power for themselves. And at the end of the day, people who do that, it's just fear. And again, compassion, heart goes out, but boundaries and police, call the police, right? Like take precautions, let's be normal. Don't let people get away with this kind of crap, but just have compassion as much as we can and understand that it's just a fear response. They don't have true faith or confidence in themselves. All right. So they have been engaged in the effort. Yeah, they just want power for themselves. Today, the main motive in the business and industrial world is the same. People marshal their armies of dollars and lay waste the lives and hearts of millions in the same mad scramble for power over others. Commercial kings, like political kings, are inspired by the lust for power. Look out for the temptation to seek authority, to become a master, to be considered as one who is above the common herd, and to impress others by lavish display. So just let's check in with our motives. Why do we want what we want? Is it to flash it in front of other people, have power over other people, think we're better than other people? What are our motives? The mind that seeks for mastery over others is the competitive mind. And the competitive mind is not the creative one. In order to master your environment and your destiny, it is not at all necessary that you should rule over your fellows. And indeed, when you fall into the world's struggle for high places, you begin to be conquered by fate and environment. And getting rich becomes a matter of chance and speculation. Ooh, let's read that again. When you fall into the world's struggle for high places, so when you fall into this struggle for power and to steal, like dog eat dog, that mentality of like, I need to take my piece of the pie, thinking that there's one pie when really we all have our own pies. When you fall into this, the struggle of power and trying to get to high places, you begin to be conquered by fate and environment, and getting rich becomes a matter of chance and speculation. Beware of the competitive mind. No better statement of the principle of creative action can be formulated than the favorite declaration of the late Golden Rule Jones. What I want for myself, I want for everybody. What I want for myself, I want for everybody. I want to be wealthy and rich, and I want you to be wealthy and rich. I want to be healthy and happy, and I want you to be healthy and happy. Because that's the truth. That really is the truth. Because if I'm healthy and happy and you're not, we can't have fun because you're not healthy. I want to be healthy and I want everyone around me to be healthy so that we can all enjoy it together. If you ever had like money and you're around someone who doesn't have money and they're like, oh, I can't afford that. I can't go to that restaurant. It's a bummer, man. Or if like you want to go to the beach and like, oh, let's go to the pool. No, because they're insecure about their body. It's like, yeah, so many things. All right, I'm cracking my back. Well, I hope you're having a beautiful weekend. It's Saturday. Yesterday was 7-Eleven. I forgot to get my free Slurpee at 7-Eleven. They get free Slurpees on 7-Eleven. You know I love me a good Slurpee. All right. Well, I just love doing this. I love you all, and I hope you have a beautiful weekend. We will continue this. I might crack open my next Course in Miracles. I think it's hilarious that I'm adding I was thinking about doing a whole new channel, but you know what? This is who I am. I'm accepting myself. Doing this, I mean, it's personal and spiritual development, right? I do the personal development, the mindset work, and then A Course in Miracles is my spiritual work. Oh, this is a short lesson. I'll do this tomorrow. Or maybe I'll do it tonight. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow morning. Lesson 18. I'm not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. Yeah, we'll do this tomorrow together. So tune in, and all of my Course in Miracles playlist is in my YouTubes as well. If you have any questions, as always, reach out. I launched my vibration and frequency masterclass. I need to start putting them in the links below with a promo code for July. Enjoy. Love you all. See you tomorrow.